Children, it is a continuation of the chapter electricity, and in your textbook, in between the chapter, there are some questions. Let us discuss one by one. The first question is, on what factors does the resistance of a conductor depend? You know that the resistivity or resistance of a conductor depends upon the length of the conductor, area of the cross section of the conductor, and nature of the material of the conductor. Note down the factors here. Resistance of a conductor depends on the length of the conductor, on the area of the cross section of the conductor, on the nature of the material of the conductor. Here you note down the answer. Second question is, will current flow more easily through a thick wire or a thin wire of the same material when connected to the same source? Current flowing through a conductor depends upon the resistance of the conductor. As the resistance increases, current flowing through the conductor goes on decreases, and you know that the resistance of a conductor is inversely proportional to the thickness of the wire. Note down the answer here. Current will flow more easily through the thick wire than the thin wire. That is because I is equals to V by R. Current flowing through the wire is inversely proportional to its resistance. As the thickness of the wire increases, resistance decreases. As the resistance decreases, current will flow easily through it. Come to the third question. Let the resistance of an electrical component remains constant while the potential difference across the two ends of the component decreases to half of its former value. What change will occur in the current through it? You know the relation among I, V and R, that is I is equals to V by R. And naturally here the current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across the two ends of the component, two ends of the conductor here. Now here, if the potential difference across the two ends of the component decreases to half of its former value, means naturally current flowing through it also decreases to half of its former value. So let us verify it. Let us consider the V1 is the initial value or former value of the voltage, that is the potential difference, and R is the resistance here, and if V2 is the decreased value, you know that V2 is equals to half V1. V2 is equals to half V1, and if you take I1 is the current in the previous case, here I1, and here R remains R only. So let us take I2 here. Now here I1 is equals to, you can write V1 by R. R is constant. Now here I2 you take, I2 is equals to V2 by R, and I2 is equals to, that is V2 is here half V1 by R, that is equals to, you know that half V1 by R, that is V1 by R is half I1. So here I2 becomes I1 by 2. So the current flowing through the component also decreases to its half. So you can write what is the answer here. What change will occur in the current through it? Current through it also decreases to half of its former value, as the potential difference decreases to half of its former value, current also decreases to half of its former value. Fourth question, why are coils of electric toasters and electric irons made of an alloy rather than a pure metal? The answer for this question is already you revealed that resistivity of an alloy is generally higher than that of its constituent metals, and also alloy do not oxidize readily. Note down the answer for the question. Resistivity of an alloy is generally higher than that of its constituent metals, and alloys do not burn readily at high temperature. Because of these two reasons, coils of electric toasters and electric irons made of an alloy rather than a pure metal. See the fifth question. Use the data in the above table to answer the following. First one is, which among iron and mercury is a better conductor? See the chart here. You know that the conductivity depends upon the resistance. As the resistance is more means conductivity is less. So you compare the resistivity of iron and mercury. Here iron and here mercury, and the resistivity of iron is 10.0 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter, and the resistivity of the mercury is 94.0 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter, and both are having same power 10 to the power of minus 8, 10 to the power of minus 8. But here if you compare 10 and 94, 94 is more than the 10. Therefore you can conclude that mercury is having more resistivity, and therefore as the iron is having less resistivity, its conductivity is more. Therefore you can conclude here iron is having more conductivity and it is a better conductor. Note down the answer here. Resistivity of iron is equals to 10.0 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Resistivity of mercury is equals to 94.0 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. So 94 into 10 to the power of minus 8 is greater than 10 into 10 to the power of minus 8. So iron is having less resistance. Therefore its conductivity is more. It is a better conductor. Therefore iron is better conductor. Question B. Which material is the best conductor? Here again we have to see the table and we have to verify which material is having less resistivity. Observe the table and recognize the material which is having least resistivity. So here we can note that silver is the material which is having least resistivity, that is 1.60 into 10 to the power of minus 8. It is minimum if you compare with other. So you can conclude that silver is the best conductor. Among all these, silver is the best conductor. So you note down this with the help of the table. With the help of the table 12.2, we noticed that silver is having minimum resistivity. Therefore silver is the best conductor. Silver is the best conductor. Let us discuss about the numerical problems solved in your textbook. The first one is example 12.3. How much current will an electric bulb draw from a 220 volt source if the resistance of the bulb filament is 1200 ohms, and how much current will an electric heater coil draw from a 220 volt source if the resistance of the heater coil is 100 ohm? Now here what are given, note down. First here the potential difference of the electric bulb is given, that is V. Here it is the solution, and you take V is equals to 220 volts, and next resistance is given, that is R is equals to 1200 ohms. And what you have to find out here, how much current will an electric bulb draw. So what you have to find out, I is equals to question mark, I is equals to question mark, that is for A it is. So how much current will an electric bulb draw from 220 volt source if the resistance of the bulb filament is 1200 ohms here. Next, here there is a relation among this V, R and I. You know that I is equals to V by R. I is equals to V by R. V is here 220 volt, R is 1200 ohms here. And that is here 0 0 cancels, 2 11s are, 2 60s are, it becomes 11 by 60 amps. You can convert this into the decimal, that becomes 11 by 60, so it is 0.1 the 60, it is again it is 50, and you know that 6 8s are, you can put 0 here, 6 8s are 48, that is 8 480, so you will get 20, and if you take 200, that becomes 6 3s are, so 60 into 3 180, so up to this you can stop here. 0.18 amps here, 0.18 amps, that is the current drawn from the electric bulb of volts 220 volts and resistance 1200 ohms is here, that is 0.18 amps, 0.18 ampere. Second one is, how much current will an electric heater coil draw from 220 volt source if the resistance of the heater coil is 100 ohm. Here again the old potential difference is given. So take the second one, V is equals to 220 volts, and also resistance is given, R is equals to 100 ohm. Next again what you have to find out, I is equals to question mark. Then you write again the same formula, I is equals to V by R, that is equals to V is how much, that is 220 volts by 100 ohms. Again it is 0 0 cancels, that is 2.2 amps, 2.2 ampere current you will get here, that is the current drawn from the electric heater of 220 volts and the resistance of 100 ohm. So you got the 2.2 amps of electric current here. Second question, that is example 12.4. The potential difference between the terminals of an electric heater is 60 volts when it draws a current of 4 amps from the source. What current will the heater draw if the potential difference is increased to 120 volts? Here in the first case, the current drawn from the source of 60 volt is given, and with the help of that too, the potential difference 60 volts and the current of 4 amps, you get the resistance. After getting the resistance, you get the current drawn from the heater of the potential difference 120 volts here. So first you take the voltage of the potential difference of the heater, that is 60 volt. You take V is equals to 60 volts and current drawn from it, that is I is equals to 4 amps, and get resistance here. And the resistance you got here used to find the current drawn in the second case. And you know the relation among V I R is, that is I is equals to V by R, that implies R is equals to V by R, V by I here. I is equals to V by R implies R is equals to V by I, and that is equals to V is here 60 and 60 volts by 4 amps, then you will get R is equals to 15 ohm, it is 15 ohms. So you got the resistance of that electric heater is, that is 15 ohms. Next, here in the second case, the voltage is increased to, the potential difference is increased to 120 volts, and what current will the heater draw? Here the same heater, what happened here? The potential difference of the heater is increased to 120 volts. So you take, if potential difference is increased to 120 V, so V becomes V is equals to 120 volts, and R is same because the same heater is used here, and the same the potential difference of the same heater is increased to 120 volts. So you take that R only, that is R is equals to 15 ohms, and question mark is for I is equals to question mark. You write the same formula, I is equals to V by R, that is I is, that how to get here, V is 120 V and R is 15 and 15 ohms it is, and is equals to, you know that 15 ones are 15 eights are 15 ones are 15 eights are 8 ohms, 8 amps it is 8 amps. So the current through the heater becomes 8 amps. Current through the heater becomes how much? That is, what current will the heater draw means the heater will draw 8 amperes. Example problem 12.5. Resistance of a metal wire of length 1 meter is 26 ohm at 20 centigrade. If the diameter of the wire is 0.3 mm, what will be the resistivity of the metal at that temperature? Using table 12.2, predict the material of the wire here. Now, here what is given in the question, resistance of a metal wire of length 1 meter is 26 ohm at 20 degree centigrade. If the diameter of the wire is 0.3 mm, what will be the resistivity of the metal at that temperature? That is, means you must find the rho here. Now you take what is given, the length of the wire is given, that is L is equals to 1 meter, and resistance is given, R is equals to 26 ohm, and diameter is given, the diameter is 0.3 mm. To convert this into meter, because the length is in meter, and here the unit of the resistivity is ohm meter, so you convert this into meter, and it is nothing but 0.3 into 10 to the power of -4 millimeter. To convert this into, you know that 10 millimeter is equals to 1 centimeter and 100 centimeter is equals to meter, then here it becomes 0.3 into 10 to the power of -m here. Then you need R here to find the area of the metallic wire. So it is R is equals to D by 2, that is equals to 0.3 into 10 to the power of minus 4 m by 2. So it is 0.15 into 10 to the power of minus 4 m it is. Now here area of the cross section of the metallic wire, you know that is A is equals to 5r square, that is 5 is 22 by 7 you can take, or 3.14 you take here. If you want to write 3.14 into R is 0.15 into 10 to the power of minus 4 the whole square it is, and it becomes 3.14 into 0.15 means the whole square is, it's a 0.0225 because 15 square is 225. 0.15 whole square is 0.0225 into 10 to the power of minus 4 whole square is, that is 10 to the power of minus 8. Next, the product is here. Diameter of the wire is given, that is D is equals to 0.3 mm, and you must convert this into meter because the unit of the SI unit of the resistivity is ohm meter. So you convert this into meter, that becomes is equals to, or you divide it by, you know that 10 mm is equals to 1 centimeter and 100 centimeter is equals to 1 meter. So you divide it by 10 into 100, that becomes 0.3 into, that is here 0.3 by 10 to the power of 3 it is. So it becomes 10 to the power of minus 3, and if you express this 0.3 in terms of 3, it becomes 3 into 10 to the power of minus 4 it is, minus 4 meter. 3 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meter. And you know here it is a diameter, and you must get the radius by dividing diameter by 2. So you write R is equals to D by 2, that is 3 into 10 to the power of minus 4 divided by 2, that is equals to 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meter it is. Now you find the cross section, area of the cross section of the metallic wire, because you know that the relation among R, L and area is needed to find the resistivity of the metal. And so you get here A is equals to 5r square, that is the area of the circle, and it is the area of the cross section. So you write and put the value of pi, that is 3.14, or also you can take 22 by 7 into r square, that is R is 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 whole power 2, that is equals to 3.14 into 1.5 the whole square is, that is 2.25 into 10 to the power of minus 4 whole power 2 is, that is 10 to the power of minus 8. And the product of 3.14 and 2.25, the product of 3.14 and 2.25 is 7.065 into 10 to the power of minus 8 m square it becomes. The area of the cross section of the metallic wire of diameter 0.3 mm is this one. Area of the cross section you got. Now you write the relation among this R, L and A and also rho. The relation is here, you know that. Write the relation. The relation you know, R is equals to rho into L by A. So you know that here rho into L by A is equals to R. So therefore rho is equals to R into A by L it is. R into A by L, and R is given, that is the resistance at 20 degrees centigrade, that is 26 into A, that 7.065 into 10 to the power of minus 8 m square, and L is 1 meter. The product of 26 ohm into 7.065 is, that is 26 into 7.065 is 183.69 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm m square by m here. Here it is m, so you take here, and here ohm you take this side here. That is 183.69. And you can take these two digits after the decimal point and into 100 you can write here 1.8369 into 100 means, that is 10 square into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm m here. Here m square by m becomes m. Next, it approximately equals to 1.8369 means 84 into 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm m. 1.84 into 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm m. That is the resistivity of the metal at 20 C. And let us find the metal which is having the resistivity approximately equal to this value, 1.84 into 10 to the power of minus 6 means, that is manganese. Manganese resistivity is 1.84 into 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm m. So what is the metal here? Here in the question it is given that predict the material of the wire. The material of the wire is manganese. The next question is example 12.6. A wire of given material having length L and area of the cross section A has a resistance of 4 ohm. What would be the resistance of another wire of the same material having the length L by 2 and area of the cross section 2A? Now here there are two wires. So let us take for the first wire. Solution let us take for first wire. For first wire, here L is equals to L only and A is equals to A only, and R1 is equals to 4 ohm here. R1 is equals to 4 ohm, and the formula for resistance R is equals to rho L by A. Rho L by A. So let us take this is R1. R1 is equals to rho L by A, and that is equals to 4 ohm here. It is 4 ohm. And next one for the second wire. For the second wire, so you know that here L becomes half L means L by 2. L becomes L by 2 and area becomes, that is 2A, and what we have to find out? Resistance, that is R2 we have to find out. R2 is equals to question mark. Write the formula for R2, that is R2 is equals to rho L by A, that is equals to, you know that rho L means L by 2, A means 2A it is, and it becomes, so let us have, that is L by 2 into 2A, that becomes 4A, and that is equals to, so you have 1 by 4 into rho L by A it is. And here from first you can take that is equals to 1 by 4. That is, from first you can write 1 by 4 into, that is, this is R1, so you write R1, and that is 1 by 4 into R1 is here 4 ohm, R1 is 4 ohm, so it becomes 1 ohm. It becomes what? 1 ohm. So according to the question, what would be the resistance of another wire of the same material having length L by 2 and area of cross section 2A? So you got 1 ohm. The resistance of the new wire is 1 ohm. The resistance of the second wire is 1 ohm. That is second wire.